How you doing? In honor of Mother Wendy, baby, I just got the fire for you. Welcome back to my channel, Country Conversations with Diva D and baby. Now I was over there minding my business for real this time, and I was getting ready to watch Ready to Love Part 2. And Diva D don't have cable, but I do have an antenna, you see. However, I don't have NBC on my apps, any of them. I have Peacock. So I do barely get local channels come in on my antenna right out there. So I was watching Wheel of Fortune. So normally when I get done watching Wheel of Fortune, I just turn on that Philo app and watch whatever Friday night reality show is on. Normally, it's Ready to Love or, Bear Collective, which is, I heard it's coming back in November. I think I got the right month this time. But anyway, so right after Will Fortune, to my surprise, I see the Miss Beautiful Jada Pinkett Smith. And Jada Pinkett Smith was ready to tell her story. And the name of her book is going to be Worthy. And she sits down with her copy. Now, let me just say this. I am ready for that book. I am going to read the book. And even though this is my wind down time, honey, I had to come to you and give it to you real and raw like I do. And I'm going to tell you why. Normally, I don't get the opportunity as a small YouTuber to just go straight to my computer and do reviews. One, because I have two feral children, 5 and 6. Then 2, they're winding down. And then 3, I try to film when they are far away from here. But tonight, I just had to come to you with the real and raw because when things get in my crawl space, I have to talk about it. And this is in my crawl space. I got a best friend. He over there talking about Jada, talking about she really was cheating when she was with August Destina, because I did a short saying, hey, relax. They weren't together, so it's not really cheating. Well, he decided he wanted to call me up and let me know that it was cheating. Well, he asked me what did I think. And I said, what do you think? I never answered this question because I knew with the way he asked me that he felt some kind of way about her cheating. So I asked him in the way that I do. I said, do you think that he has cheated on her? Now, when people get ready to judge folks, they don't like to come with the real. I said, do you think that he has cheated on her? And does that make it different now that you know that he has cheated on her? So, I go to Facebook and I present the question. Now, mind you, I have many friends on Facebook, many followers on Facebook, and none of them engage with me, period. But here comes the engagement. Jada has to be the worst wife ever. Jada needs to keep her mouth closed. Jada is embarrassing Will. Jada is a cheater. Jada is a liar. Really, people? This once, and I'm going to tell you this too. A majority of the people who says this are black women. Now, white women are saying that he's too good for her. But to my white friends, I have said, do y'all say that because you only know him? And he presents as a well put together fella, right? And they had to admit Will is way more famous with way more money than she has, okay? Now this is what I tell the folks who remind me that he has way more money than her. Now, if we recall correctly, and this is me going by memory, he pissed off his money from the Fresh Prince. And this is me following them from the time they got married up until now, because I have always been a fan of hers, not so much as his. If you know me, and I'm talking about the people that know me, not my 43 followers. Yeah, that's right, 43 followers now. Yesterday it was 42. So somebody's watching and somebody's subscribing. Thanks. But anyway, if you know me, then you know that I was a fan of A Different World. But I was not so much a fan of Fresh Prince. I was a fan of Parents Just Don't Understand. But many albums after that, not so much. So Will was not my favorite rapper. However, we just talked about that last week. Tupac was. Excuse me. Wine cooler. So I really said all that to say I want to get started into talking about her story, and this may bring some light to people feeling some type of way about her. Hopefully, we can bring ourselves back to loving her. Because if we all can recall, like I know, all these black men that are dissing her now, calling her an awful wife, I can guarantee you the ones that grew up with me have had some type of a crush on her. Now, back to what I was saying, as far as business goes, she helped shape him from behind the scenes in his business aspect of acting. He knew how to act, right? But in the business part of it, not so much. This is where Jada came in at. They have a partnership. And I don't know why nobody else can understand this. Even supposedly open-minded and woke people cannot understand that she has brought him out of a lot of bad situations, including bankruptcy and depression and despair. What they have together works. Now let's get to the interview. But the interview starts, and they are in Baltimore, and they're at her old school, and she says that while they're at that old school, all kind of memories are coming back to her, and she remembers the day she met Tupac, right? Tupac already from California, had already been through some things, and he moves to Baltimore, and he's in that school. Well, Jada is not nearly as smart as he is, but everybody knows Tupac had that thing, right, where he could do poetry. So he's a better student than she is, and they become fast friends. Friends, people, friends. And she told Pop, as she's rising, because the teacher saw something special in her with her acting and being able to be in pageants and her speaking ability, but she wasn't a great student. But when she decides to try to date Pac, she tells Pac to kiss her, right? And he kisses her, and they like, ew, okay, not working. We're better friends. This has happened to me. This has happened to me with several of my guy friends that I strictly have platonic relationships with. So you test the waters, right? And you see that you can't cross that line with these men, because it's just, you just at the point where you just don't want to ruin a friendship. Then she talks about how Pac was coming to his own as an actor as well. And that's where he got his start too. But she goes in a different direction, right? She wants to work and she doesn't like school so much. So she gets 2 jobs, right? And then, with these jobs, yeah, I took notes right there quick like that. And she gets these 2 jobs, and one of her jobs is selling dope. Now, in the dope game, her father is a user and her mother is a user. But her and she's being raised by her grandmother. But her mother swoops, put the cape on, swoops in and says, I got to be a mom. Even though I'm an addict myself, I got to get my child out of this dope game or she's going to end up dead. Well, that's exactly what just about happened because Jada gets robbed. She gets robbed and they steal her jewelry and all that type of stuff. And she says, wait, just 1 minute. This isn't for me. Okay, I'm back. Got a phone call. But she realizes that the dope game is not for her. She says that she knows that if she had kept that up because of the moment that she got robbed, that, she wasn't going to make out of that situation alive. And then again, her mother stepped in right on time. So she goes to, she tries college. That didn't work out, so she goes to LA. And she still got that gift, right? Got the gift of gab. And she's talented, remember, from when she was at in school. So people began to take notice of her, and she meets Keenan Ivory, and Keenan Ivory is impressed with her. And this is a story. I love Jada, but I promise I never thought that it was Keenan. I thought, because she wanted to be a fly girl, he said, this ain't your ministry. She could dance, but he was like, this ain't your ministry. Because you remember when she said 911? Oh, no. Different where 911 protect the community, and we saw her little dancing skills then. She was more like a hip-hop dancer, but he was like, nah, you need to get in the acting. So what he did for her was he got her an agent. And now that I think about it, that's right, she was Pages, and Low Down Dirty Shame, which they don't mention. Well, I wish they had, though. But I guess they had to get through the interview. And so her and Pac, they in separate ends of the world. They come back together on a different world. Pac plays Piccolo. Baby. I was on the fence because it was 2 men that Jada loved on that episode, and it was 2 men that I love. Y'all remember Bumper Robinson? Baby. Nobody really know what Bumper's race was, but he always played black. But I suspect that when a name like Bumper, I don't know. But as the years went on, Bumper just looked the same, didn't he? Because, he started playing on the game, too. But, baby, on that different world, when that Piccolo was on there, I forgot all about Bumper in a way. And Jada did, too, in a way, I guess. But anyway, she's on different world. She auditions with the great Debbie Allen, and Debbie Allen is so impressed with her that she says, no, you're not guest material. And she leaves and thinks that, I didn't get it. And she says, no, you're not guest material. You're going to be a permanent fixture on the show. I'm going to give you a role. And that role was Lena James. And baby, if you watched her 2 seasons on Different World, then you know what an impact that she had on that show. She was on it. I mean, she had that personality that I had. I wasn't tiny and cute like that, but I had a similar personality when I was in college. I was all about school, but at the same time serious about, and I was at HBCU, Jackson State. So I was also serious about, helping the community. And I wanted to pledge a sorority that was really serious about helping the community. So That's neither here nor there. That's a story for another time. But anyway, I was so impressed with her. She got jobs on my favorite. She got many, many roles after that. She set it off. Low Down Dirty Shame, like I mentioned. When I tell you I have seen that movie at least 152 times, 0.3 times. My friend at Jada'S State had the VHS tape and set it off. I can't watch it because of the scene about her brother. So when I tell you this lady can act, and y'all need to get up off her back, okay? Because if you, white or black, crossed over and watched Set It Off and saw her act that part about her brother and what happens to many, many African American men as of today with the police brutality and the mistaken identity, then you would know that she honed in and has a very keen acting ability. And she could do comedy, right? No, not many people can do that. Woo. Now, a lot of people didn't like Woo, but I thought that movie was cute as, okay. Then, it's not a movie she's been in that I don't think I've seen. Then fast forward to now, Girls Trip. Come on now, give her props. It's not like she's something like what people are saying about her, that she's some shrieking valley just waiting on Will to bring home a check. Come on now. Nutty Professor. Do I need to go on Menace to Society? Keep going, Donna. Do I need to go any further? Come on now. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. We fast forward to current times. The rumors start swirling about August. Well, August is his little. He sits himself down to the, with Angela Yee. And this is where Jada becomes the cheating liar that she is today, right? So, Jada never really said if they, had their entanglement or not. But, Will start hearing rumblings about it. And Will now is, with Jada's help, is a smart actor. And he has the business side going, right? So he's like, we're going to have to get out in front of it. We're going to have to tell some truths and tell your truth and mine. He is the one who wanted to sit at the red table. I will tell you if I did not believe her. What reason does she have to lie at this point, right? So, I don't think she's lying. I think he did want to sit down and they go on and discuss the entanglement. Now, this is not Will's interview, but we can talk about how his star began to rise as well. And, in between that, before the entanglement, of course, they get married. And now, if you know Jada's story, she is apprehensive about marrying this man. However, she's pregnant. And she says that she wants things to be done differently than what it was with her relationship with her parents. So, she decides to have the baby and decides to marry Will. And I believe it said they got married in 1997. And I want to say it was like either New Year's or New Year's Eve. And still, his star is rising, right? He gets Independence Day, Men in Black, and then after that, right, meteoric. And all this time, her career is stalling, but she's teaching him as his star is rising. See, a lot of people don't know she's the one who came up with the idea for him to get that back end money. And back end money is what the Caucasian actors was getting. Let me repeat. It's what the Caucasian actors was getting. And back end money is money that you receive no matter how much the film makes. So even when he got that $20 million for Wild Wild West that everybody hated, but I loved. I don't know. I'm just like that. I like a lot of movies that people don't like. I like to be in Vote of my own. But anyway, and even with that, he still got a back end deal. Now, this is Jada talking in his ear, teaching him that, you got to get that back end money. But anyway, they're married now, and, he's doing his thing. She's, her career is there, but it's not like his, right? Because we don't want to forget that they were producing TV shows together, right? And they did that TV show, I can't remember the name of it, but it starred Dwayne Martin. So the rumors start not only about August, but the rumors are out there for years about him allegedly sleeping with Dwayne, her being gay, and, them all being gay, and them having a swinger relationship. She said none of this is true. She would never agree to him, just having an open relationship like that. This is where I kind of doubt that. I think that with them deciding to stay married no matter what, that came along with it. And so, now back to the red table talk. So they sit down for the red table talk, and, Will is upset. Will is not really upset at Jada, though. And see, why so many people were upset with her when he was. Okay? Because he knew what it was up, right? He knew that they were in a place where they were living separately. And I know that nobody talks about this, but I remember an Instagram post that she made where he got mad about. It seemed like he got mad about banana pudding or something. And whatever it was that he got mad about, Will has an anger issue, in my opinion. Allegedly. Okay? So they talk, and nobody ever mentioned this too. They talk about there being a separation in the video. But what they did was they led people to believe that they were still together after the separation, is that they left the red table talk, jovial, slapping five, whatever. Fast forward. Okay. Well, we get to the Oscars. Well, that previous year, Jada had told, well, I guess when Chris had, hosted the Oscars, that was the year that Jada had decided that she wanted to boycott the Oscars. Well, Chris made the joke, well, like me and Rihanna's panties, you weren't invited anyway. Yeah, maybe she wasn't, but at the same time, I think they could have gotten an invitation. Will was already solidified as a major player in Hollywood, and I've seen people like who never won Oscars or never had nominations go, so that really probably had nothing to do with it, because guess what? Will had already been nominated, my understanding, for Muhammad Ali. Should have won. Should have won. But the night he decides to slap a man, he wins. So we go on to the Oscars, right? And Jada's like, okay, here we go. I hope Chris plays nice. And here comes the joke, right? He makes the joke about him watching G.I. Jane and being in the next G.I. Jane. And she says that he was just doing what Chris does. And Hoda agreed, a firestorm coming, right? Chris is doing his thing, and next thing you know, Will jumps up. She says he jumps up, and while she's sitting there quiet, and she's like, what is he doing? Because at this point, she's thinking this is a skit, and I believe her. I believe her here. And so, right at this moment, when they're doing the skit, or what she thinks is a skit, she says that when Will's walking back, she's like, well, he looked angry. So I'm thinking, maybe this is not a skit and Will is serious. So she whispers in his ear, she got it. Nobody talks about that. Not only did he have her back, she had his. Nobody talks about how she stood beside him in this firestorm of a mess that he caused, in my opinion. Okay? I've always said that people are giving her the blues for no particular reason. Talking about the eye roll and the look she had. She said the eye roll came from complete surprise. Because she never thought that he would have got up and did that. Here we go. I believe her here. Okay? So, after the event and she realizes that he really did slap her, his publicist, Meredith, that was her name, came up to her and says, you know, Chris has left the building and he's upset and he's not going to press charges. Well, Will carries on. Will does what Will does best. He gets up on the stage and he apologizes to everybody except Chris. And at that point, Jada says she goes into protection mode. And the things that they were saying about her in the press were awful. And to this day, still awful. Will does finally apologize to Chris. And she is wondering why, why am I so much into this? I'm sorry, I forgot a whole part of this interview. Jada went through a bout of depression shortly after the marriage, which, a woman who is not really into marriage, that's gonna happen. And she tries to vacillate between what she's gonna do, how she's gonna do it, commit suicide. And she thinks about going up cliff, driving really fast, making it look like an accident. And she didn't ever really say that she thought about her children, but we'll probably get that in the memoir. And again, the name of the memoir is Worthy. Back to Will. So Will goes and has his interview, and he apologizes to Chris, and Chris says he's not ready. It all comes out in the wash that Jada is thinking that this is some old stuff because Chris knew that they were separated and he shoots a shot. Now, my understanding is that even though he shot his shot, then I thought that he had done it previously as well. Okay? So, that pretty much kind of ends it. They really kind of ended talking about the marriage and how she's not going to leave him. They are separated, but they have a deep love. Hey, people! In my little trusty book that I have Basketball Wives notes in that I was planning on doing before this video, but I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. Basketball Wives Orlando. Because I haven't finished watching it yet. I was planning on doing that one tonight. But because of how I feel about Jada, I thought I had to come and give my point of view on it. And this woman is being attacked, for no apparent reason other than staying with the man. And the man stayed with her even after she had her entanglement. And you don't think he's had entanglements. And entanglements that he has also had. And even though my channel is so small, I wish that I had the reach that some of these other YouTubers have, because for the simple fact that I'm very passionate about being a fan and protecting this woman's peace. People are not being fair to her, okay? And my reach is not big enough to show that I support her and her decision to stay in this marriage. People, they are separated. I know a couple married 30 years. They have a deep affection for each other and a deep respect for each other, and they still do for each other. So let's just let them handle this the way they handle this, just the way. And she says she understands it. So, why I'm cool. And she said that she understands that people are going to think what they want to think. But let's just give her some grace, okay? Like we would anybody else. If you are a fan of hers or have been a fan of hers, then let the lady have some peace. Stop calling her a demon, a devil, a pariah, the gold digging wife, which by the way, she's worth $50 million on her own, just in case you didn't know that. Worth $30 million before she got it with him, because she knew about those residuals and royalties. Give her props now. Give her props. But anyway, shout out to Jada and Will. I'm gonna end this video at this time. Bye now, and as I do when I end my videos, I'm gonna chuck them up. Deuces. Come back, like the video, subscribe, and share. This is Country Conversations with Diva D.